Hey everyone! Today we are going to make spell bags. Now, the ingredients for spell bags really vary based on your intention with the spell. So, some typical items that you may want to use if you're considering doing a spell bag are some type of salt. I prefer black salt when I'm doing spell bags. Some type of herb or flower or root. This is skullcap, this is hibiscus, and this is High John the Conqueror root, which is, I absolutely love this. You can use a candle, and I prefer to use High John oil or, well, and you know, like I said before, it just depends on what type of spell that you're doing. I also include stones or crystals in my spell bags as well. And then obviously some type of bag to put your spell in. And also something, if you're using a candle, to possibly carve in the candle if you choose to do so. So, let me show you an example of how I would do a spell. Okay, or a spell bag. This is a plate that I got, I'm pretty sure at a garage sale, but it is very, very well used, has tons of wax on it. And so, what I would do typically is have my candle, and I would carve something in the candle. So let's just say I want to do a spell for protection. Okay, so I would make a protective symbol on the candle, okay, and then I would take the oil and I would anoint the candle. Now, there are hundreds of different methods or techniques, come on, of anointing candles. Some say to go from the top down, some say from the bottom up. There are hundreds of different ways. Honestly, do what feels right for you when you anoint your candle, okay? So, have the candle in the middle of the plate. Then, any herbs or flowers or any type of anything else that you're using. You can even put a pitcher if you have a pitcher. Let's just say this is a pitcher. You can put the pitcher here. You can put the flowers. This is hibiscus. You can put some salt. You can put some of the herbs. You could put one of the crystals or stones at the base. And then light the candle and allow it to burn all the way down. Okay, so fast forward, pretend that we just burned the candle all the way down. Yay! And pretend that this is all the way down. Okay, so what I would do next is after I allowed it to burn down, and always put this in a safe space. I usually put it in like the bottom of my bathtub. Sometimes with a little bit of water, just depending. So, okay, so after you're done burning the candle, if you choose to use a candle, okay, then you need to have some type of spell bag to put it in, or bag. Now, these are just the little drawstring bags that you can get at most New Age stores. A lot of crystals or gifts, if you buy them online, will come in these little things. The ones I prefer are these muslin bags, and they're actually cotton bags. They're Flower Valley reusable cotton bags. These are found in the tea section of most Whole Food stores or Trader Joe's or any type of natural food store. So, I prefer these because they're large enough to put kind of a lot of stuff in. And also, they have like the little drawstring that's just two, so you can knot it and whatnot, which I like to do. Okay, so if this was a pitcher, you could fold the pitcher if you wanted. And then you can just kind of, well, here. I wouldn't use a sort of, you know, photograph this big. I would actually probably use a smaller photograph. So let's just say that this was the size of your picture, or this was the size of the parchment. Maybe you had some type of parchment or something next to this. So then you could fold it and then put it in there and put the remnants of the candle in there. Now, I always have my little athame with me, so if there is wax and stuff stuck in the candle, I would dig it out and make sure that I put it inside the bag. Then gather all of the herbs and flowers and stones and put them into the bag. Obviously, when you're doing a spell, you're going to be a little bit neater than I am today. So anyway, okay, so all of the items are in the bag. Then, what I like to do is just roll the bag, and then, okay, so there's actually several different techniques, and this is the thing that when you're doing a spell bag, allow your intuition to really come forward. Because if you're using one of these bags, you could cinch it and then roll it and tie it. And that's usually what I do. Sometimes, just depending, sometimes I will roll it like this and use a ribbon and sort of wrap the ribbon around and then tie it, and then it would be like this. Other times, I've done it to where I'll cinch it like this. And then as I tie it, I always say by the power of the maiden, by the power of the mother, and by the power of the crone. And then I roll it, and then I take it and wrap it around one side. And then I say, by the power of the boy, and then turn it around. Whoops. And then turn it around and say, by the power of the father. And I turn it around again, and then I say, by the power of the sage. And that way, because I prefer to use all three deity or aspects of both goddess and god in my spell work. So this is wrapped up nice and neatly. You can now keep this someplace safe. You can put it inside of another bag if you choose. I actually have a bag of little bags that I keep in a safe space. But really, spell bags are typically kept until the spell manifests, and then they're either buried or burned or disposed of in some way. Some people choose to unknot everything, open it up, and allow all of the ingredients to be free and either bury that or burn that separately. It really just depends on what you choose and also what you're called to do. And that's the big main thing about spell bags, is do what you're called to do, okay? I've done ones that just have 1 or 2 crystals in them. I've done ones that have some shells in them. I've done ones where I've just put like a leaf, and then I cinched it and knotted it real good and kept it. It really just depends on your purposes and your reason for doing a spell bag. Spell bags also are usually done for protection, so you can put protective herbs like this one for the spell. And then you can keep it in a vehicle, you can keep it in a backpack, a purse, a suitcase, wherever. And then also for the colors of the bags or the colors of the candle or the crystals or whatever, use the color that really speaks to you. If you see in a chart that brown is for job hunting or something, but to you brown means protection because when you were little your security blanket was brown or something, whatever. If brown means protection to you, or if a certain color means a certain thing to you, use that color. If it's in a book and it says something different and that doesn't resonate with you, I wouldn't use it, because having that confidence in your spells and having the confidence in the tools that you're using is key when you're doing spell work, okay? So, I hope you have enjoyed seeing my method of doing spell bags. I know it's pretty much kind of a free-for-all, but that's pretty much what it is. I know that there are some traditions that have very meticulous and very specific ways of doing spell bags. I'm very eclectic pagan, so this is how I choose to do my spell bags. If you have a video response to this, please post it, and I look forward to reading your comments. Mwah! Blessed be.